Paul Michael Levesque, widely known as Triple H, was born on July 27, 1969 in Nashua, New Hampshire, USA. He grew up in a working-class family as the second of 9 children, giving him a sense of responsibility and the resilience that would shape his personality later in life. His father, Paul Levesque Sr., worked in construction, and his mother, Nancy, was a homemaker. Dedicated to raising a large family in a structured and disciplined environment from an early age, Paul exhibited traits of determination, focus, and competitiveness. He was athletic, energetic, and naturally inclined toward physical activity, often participating in neighborhood sports and school athletics. Growing up with 8 siblings, he learned early about collaboration, leadership, and standing out among peers, traits that would define him later both personally and professionally. Paul's childhood was marked by a relatively normal suburban upbringing. However, being part of a large family meant that resources were limited and personal discipline was necessary. He often balanced household responsibilities with his growing interest in sports, which became an outlet for both physical energy and personal achievement. Adolescence during his teenage years, Paul attended Nashua High School, where he began to explore athletics more seriously. He was particularly drawn to basketball and football, enjoying the structured competition and camaraderie that team sports offered. Even in these early years, Paul displayed leadership tendencies, often motivating teammates and taking initiative during games. At home, his parents emphasized the importance of education, discipline, and moral values. Paul internalized these lessons, which helped him develop a grounded perspective despite growing ambitions. His upbringing instilled in him the value of hard work, determination, and persistence, qualities that would later influence every aspect of his life. College life. After graduating from high school, Paul Levesque enrolled in a college in the northeastern United States. Sources indicate he initially considered pursuing a career in business or sports management, reflecting his early interest in athletics and leadership. College was an important period for him to explore independence, intellectual growth, and personal development beyond the structure of his family home. Academic focus. While exact details of his major are less documented, Paul's college years were marked by a combination of academics and personal exploration. He demonstrated curiosity and dedication, balancing studies with maintaining his physical fitness. During this period, he developed a disciplined schedule that combined rigorous coursework, early morning workouts, and participation in intramural sports. This blend of intellectual and physical growth laid the foundation for his work ethic. Athletic development. College also provided Paul with the opportunity to continue and refine his athletic abilities. He maintained a strong workout regimen, which not only kept him in peak physical condition, but also became a cornerstone of his identity. His focus on fitness, strength training, and body conditioning during these formative years would later serve as the groundwork for his eventual career in professional wrestling and executive leadership. Personal growth. Beyond academics and athletics, college was a time when Paul expanded his social and interpersonal skills. He interacted with diverse groups, learned negotiation and teamwork, and developed an understanding of leadership dynamics. This period was crucial in shaping the interpersonal confidence that later allowed him to navigate complex professional and personal relationships. Married life. Paul Levesque's married life is closely intertwined with the McMahon legacy, as he married Stephanie McMahon, the daughter of WWE Chairman Vince McMahon. Their relationship began as a professional collaboration in the early 1990s and developed into a deep personal connection. Courtship. Paul and Stephanie's relationship evolved over several years. Initially, their interactions were professional, as Paul worked within the WWE environment while Stephanie handled various corporate responsibilities. Their mutual respect, shared work ethic, and understanding of the entertainment and business world brought them closer. Both valued family, discipline, and long-term vision, which strengthened their bond. Mariagathy couple married on October 25, 2003. Their wedding was a high-profile event attended by close family, friends, and select industry colleagues. The marriage symbolized not only personal commitment, but also a blending of 2 influential figures in the professional wrestling and corporate world. Family life. Paul and Stephanie have 3 daughters, and family life is a central pillar for both of them. Despite demanding professional schedules, they emphasize a supportive, nurturing environment for their children. Their household is known for balancing high-profile careers with personal stability, privacy, and family values. They actively participate in each child's growth, fostering education, discipline, and personal development. Partnership dynamics beyond romance. Paul and Stephanie's marriage is also a partnership in vision and enterprise. They share responsibilities and strategic decisions related to WWE and other business ventures, demonstrating a rare balance between personal affection and professional collaboration. This dual aspect of their relationship highlights trust, shared goals, and long-term planning. Paul Levesque's childhood in Nashua, New Hampshire, was shaped by the dynamics of a large family and the working-class environment. Being one of 9 children meant that Paul learned early on about sharing resources, teamwork, and patience. Each sibling had their own personality, and navigating a household with multiple temperaments gave him social intelligence from a young age. His father, Paul S.R., was a disciplined man who valued hard work and responsibility. Working in construction, he modeled a strong work ethic and practical skills for his children. Paul S.R. often involved his children in small tasks around the house or construction sites, teaching lessons in persistence and accountability. Paul Levesque often cites the lessons learned from observing his father's consistency, particularly the value of finishing what you start and giving every task full effort. His mother, Nancy, was the emotional anchor of the family, ensuring that the household remained organized and supportive. She fostered a nurturing environment, balancing the strict discipline of Paul S.R. with warmth, encouragement, and understanding. Paul's upbringing in such an environment taught him the importance of structure, resilience, and interpersonal sensitivity, traits that would later serve him both personally and professionally. Growing up in Nashua also exposed him to the values of community and small-town life. He developed friendships with local children, engaging in recreational sports and neighborhood competitions. These early social interactions gave him a sense of belonging and a competitive edge. Paul's natural athletic ability was apparent, and he often excelled in pickup games and school sports, gaining confidence in both physical skill and leadership. Adolescence, foundations of discipline and identity. During adolescence, Paul's life became a balance between academics, athletics, and family responsibilities. Nashua High School provided a structured environment where he could pursue his interests in sports while keeping up with academic obligations. Paul was particularly drawn to team sports, including basketball, football, and track, which cultivated leadership qualities and competitive discipline. Participating in team sports gave him a foundation in strategy, collaboration, and goal setting. He learned to balance individual performance with team objectives, a skill that would later translate into both his personal and professional life. He was respected by peers for his determination, focus, and willingness to push himself physically. Despite his athletic interests, academics were a priority. Paul showed curiosity in subjects like history, literature, and business, reflecting early signs of his strategic thinking and analytical skills. Balancing schoolwork with athletics and family obligations taught him time management, a critical skill that would serve him throughout his college years and adulthood. Another important element of his teenage years was exposure to responsibility within the family. Being one of 9 children meant that Paul often took on tasks to help care for younger siblings or assist with household chores. This early immersion in responsibility built leadership skills, patience, and a sense of accountability that would become central to his identity. College years, independence, growth, and athletic focus. After high school, Paul Levesque enrolled in a college in the northeastern United States, seeking both academic growth and personal independence. College represented a turning point. For the first time, he was away from the daily structure of home and able to chart his own course. Academic pursuits. While the exact details of his major are not widely documented, Paul's college studies focused on areas that combined analytical thinking and organizational skills, potentially including business, management, or sports-related disciplines. His approach to academics reflected the discipline instilled during childhood: meticulous preparation, consistent effort, and focus on long-term goals rather than immediate gratification. He balanced coursework with a rigorous commitment to physical fitness, maintaining a structured daily schedule that included early morning workouts, classes, and study sessions. College provided him with a platform to integrate mental discipline with physical training, laying the groundwork for the work ethic that would define his adult life. Paul Michael Levesque, better known by his ring name Triple H, began his journey into fitness at an early age. Growing up in a large working-class family in Nashua, New Hampshire, he was surrounded by physical activity and the demands of household labor. His father, Paul S.R., worked in construction, and his mother, Nancy, managed a large family of 9 children. These early experiences instilled discipline, work ethic, and resilience, all essential traits for a young athlete. Paul's interest in fitness started during adolescence. Participating in sports like basketball and football at Nashua High School, he realized the importance of strength and conditioning for athletic performance. To improve his performance, Paul began lifting weights at the school gym and later in a small home setup. Initially, the motivation was simple: to enhance athleticism and endurance for team sports. The role of early mentors. Paul's early training was largely self-directed, but he received guidance from coaches and older peers in the community. He learned foundational lifting techniques, proper form, and the importance of consistency. These lessons formed the basis of his training philosophy, which emphasized functional strength, progressive overload, and discipline over shortcuts. A key motivator for young Paul was the desire to excel among his peers. The competitive environment of sports and academics in a large family drove him to push harder in the gym. This intrinsic motivation, proving his abilities and achieving personal goals, became a central theme throughout his fitness journey. Who motivated him to train well? Peer influence and sports participation were important. Paul's primary motivation came from internal drive and the desire for excellence. He admired athletes who combined strength, intelligence, and leadership. Additionally, exposure to fitness magazines, professional athletes, and popular culture figures in bodybuilding inspired him to aim for physical mastery. Family support was also critical. His father's emphasis on work ethic and his mother's encouragement gave him the confidence to pursue rigorous training routines. Over time, Paul developed a passion for weightlifting, not just as a tool for athletics, but as a means of personal transformation and identity building. Transition to professional wrestling. Paul's physical development naturally drew attention from the world of professional wrestling. Standing tall with a muscular, well-conditioned physique, he possessed the raw physical attributes desired by wrestling promoters. However, entering the WWE required guidance, mentorship, and strategic career decisions. Key figures who helped him join Paul's first significant break came when he connected with Joe Lothario, a former professional wrestler who recognized Paul's potential. Lothario introduced him to the professional wrestling industry and trained him in the basics of in-ring performance, showmanship, and audience engagement. Under Lothario's mentorship, Paul honed the skills necessary to succeed on stage. Complementing his already impressive physical condition, through Lothario, Paul secured an opportunity with the World Wrestling Federation (WWF), now WWE. He began training rigorously in wrestling techniques, combining his gym-conditioned strength with agility, stamina, and performance artistry. His gym foundation made the physical demands of wrestling more manageable, allowing him to execute high-impact moves safely and convincingly. Gym philosophy and continuous training. After entering WWE, Paul never abandoned the gym. He continued to train intensely, using weightlifting, cardiovascular conditioning, and functional exercises to maintain his competitive edge. His regimen focused on overall strength, endurance, and injury prevention, with an emphasis on compound lifts such as bench presses, squats, and deadlifts. His dedication to the gym reinforced his in-ring persona as the Game, a wrestler defined by discipline, strategic thinking, and physical dominance. By maintaining peak fitness, he was able to perform at the highest levels of professional wrestling and remain a credible competitor against top athletes. Companionships and alliances in Paul Levesque's relationships in WWE extended beyond the gym and into complex alliances that shaped his career. He became a key member of several iconic factions. D-Generation X DX formed in the late 1990s. D-Generation X was a rebellious faction that challenged authority and entertained fans with charisma and humor. Triple H's partnership with Shawn Michaels and other members solidified his reputation as both a performer and a leader. This companionship emphasized loyalty, strategic planning, and performance synergy. reflecting the same discipline he applied to training. Evolution. Later, Triple H formed the faction Evolution, mentoring younger wrestlers like Randy Orton and Batista. The group highlighted his leadership, discipline, and strategic thinking, mirroring the structure and dedication of his gym philosophy. Evolution's success relied on mutual respect, collaboration, and a shared commitment to excellence. Partnership with Paul Heyman. Triple H did not have a long-term managerial partnership like Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman. His professional relationships included alliances with key figures who guided storylines, character development, and business strategy. These relationships allowed him to maintain influence both in ring and backstage, personal traits reinforced by gym and wrestling. Alliance. Combination of rigorous gym training and strong companionships in WWE shaped Triple H's personal traits. Discipline. Daily training reinforced his ability to plan, execute, and maintain focus. Leadership. Mentoring younger talent in Evolution reflected skills learned through teamwork and coaching. Resilience. The physical and emotional demands of WWE required both strength and mental toughness, cultivated in the gym. Strategic thinking. Aligning with factions and building storylines mirrored goal-oriented approaches similar to structured fitness programs. Early rivalries and rising star matches. Intercontinental and Championship feuds. Triple H's ascent began in the mid-1990s when he first rose to prominence as a mid-card performer. His first major rivalry centered on the Intercontinental Championship, a title that, at the time, was one of WWE's most respected secondary belts. Mark Merrow. Triple H won his first significant title by defeating Mark Merrow in 1996 to capture the Intercontinental Championship. As Intercontinental Champion, Triple H launched feuds with other rising stars and established competitors, refining his in-ring psychology and character intensity. Goldust, a physically and psychologically wild competitor whose matches with Triple H blended athleticism and showmanship. Owen Hart, a technically sound wrestler whose exchanges with Triple H elevated both men's reputations. The Rock. Even at this early stage, Triple H battled Dwayne Johnson for mid-card gold, laying the seeds for decades-long rivalry. This period was foundational. It showcased Triple H's ability to engage audiences not just through strength, but through storytelling and ring psychology. 2. The road to the main event. Championship Trials. King of the Ring. 1997. Winning the 1997 King of the Ring tournament was a pivotal achievement in Triple H's rise. Historically, King of the Ring winners have often become main event players. WWE legends such as Bret Hart, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Kurt Angle all used the victory as a launching pad. For Triple H, it marked the shift from mid-card contender to heavyweight status. 3. World Championship rivalries and first title reign. Triple H ascended. He faced some of the biggest stars of the Attitude Era, a period of explosive popularity for professional wrestling. Triple H vs. The Rock. Hair rivalry is one of the most contested in WWE history. Fan accounts and match archives indicate that Triple H and The Rock faced each other dozens of times in televised and pay-per-view competition. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, these matches weren't just athletic contests, they were personality clashes between two future legends. The Rock played the charismatic, brash challenger. Triple H embodied precision, intensity, and cerebral strategy, often using the iconic sledgehammer as part of his arsenal. Their televised and PPV bouts included Iron Man contests, steel cage battles, and championship clashes that helped frame both as cornerstones of WWE's main event scene. 4. Multiple world title. Reagan's first WWE Championship. August 1999. Triple H captured his first WWE Championship by defeating Mankind in August 1999. This win was a watershed moment, elevating the game to main event status and beginning a pattern of championship prominence that defined his career. Reign number 2. 6. Pack Challenge at Unforgiven 1999. Triple H won a six-pack challenge that included The Rock, Mankind, Kane, Big Show, and the British Bulldog. A brutal, competitive free-for-all that underscored his top-tier status. Victory over Big Show 2000 in January 2000. Triple H reclaimed the WWE Championship against Big Show, one of the most physically imposing opponents in WWE history. Iron Man triumph versus The Rock 2000 shortly afterward. Triple H faced The Rock in a 60-minute Iron Man match, one of the most grueling contests WWE ever staged. Emerging victorious, solidified his place among the elite. 5. Evolution and internal conflicts. As a veteran star, Triple H's character became intertwined with WWE's most significant factions and storylines. Formation of Evolution in 2003. Triple H formed Evolution with RIC Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista, a dominant stable representing wrestling's past, present, and future. Their collective dominance saw them hold multiple titles simultaneously and engage in heated internal feuds as egos clashed and allegiances fractured. Rivalries grew from within Evolution itself, most notably with Randy Orton, who turned on the group and challenged his former mentor, leading to championship battles and personal tension. 6. Wrestling's biggest stage. WrestleMania rivalries. Triple H's WrestleMania record features standout matches. He headlined multiple WrestleManias. He scored victories over marquee opponents such as Goldust, Mick Foley, and Sting. He also faced setbacks against icons like The Undertaker and John Cena. Each WrestleMania match added layers to his rivalry narrative, sometimes culminating careers, sometimes igniting new chapters. 7. Rifles with legends. The Undertaker, John Cena, and Marethi Undertaker. Triple H faced The Undertaker at multiple WrestleManias in grueling matches that blended physical intensity with deep fan investment. Their bouts are remembered for storytelling, athletic drama, and competitive edge. Johnson nearly in the 2000s and beyond. Triple H engaged in power versus grit matches with John Cena, two figures from contrasting eras whose styles symbolized WWE's changing landscape. 8. Legacy rivalries and later competitions. His in-ring career evolved. Triple H continued to compete in high-stakes matches, culminating in epic contests against stars like Batista, where career implications and championship stakes were on the line. 9. Championships and competitive summary. Over his career, Triple H amassed 9 WWE Championship reigns, 5 World Heavyweight Championship reigns, 5 Intercontinental Championships, European and Tag Team titles, 2 Royal Rumble victories, King of the Ring victory, 2nd Grand Slam champion, and 7th Triple Crown champion. Altogether, that contributed to at least 23 total championship reigns across WWE's history. 10. Competitive style and impact. Triple H's in-ring approach blended cerebral psychology with explosive power athleticism. He wasn't just chasing championships, he crafted narratives through competition. Whether using sledgehammer tactics, enduring Iron Man conditions, or battling in steel cage carnage. Start early and build foundations. Triple H's fitness journey began in adolescence. Participating in high school sports, he recognized the importance of strength, conditioning, and agility. His early training emphasized basic bodyweight exercises, push-ups, pull-ups, and squats. Introduction to weightlifting, focusing on proper form and controlled progression. Consistency over intensity, building habits before chasing extreme results. Lesson for gym motivation: start small, focus on fundamentals, and build a strong foundation. Even WWE champions began with basic routines. Progress comes through patience and persistence. 2. Find your motivation. For Triple H, motivation wasn't external. While he admired athletes and wrestlers, his drive came from internal ambition, desire to excel among peers and siblings, determination to transform his physique for sports, dream of achieving success in professional wrestling. Listen, identify your why. Gym motivation lasts longer when it stems from personal goals rather than comparison to others. Exercise tip: write down your primary reasons for training: aesthetics, strength, health, or performance, and revisit them daily. 3. Mentorship and guidance. Triple H didn't train alone. His early mentor, Joe Lothario, helped him understand proper wrestling training and gym techniques. Guidance allowed him to avoid injuries, maximize efficiency in workouts, learn mental discipline alongside physical training. Listen, a mentor or coach accelerates progress. In the gym, professional trainers, experienced friends, or even structured programs help maintain motivation and correct mistakes. 4. Set progressive goals. Triple H's rise was gradual. Early strength gains translated to wrestling readiness, then to championship success. His principle was small, measurable milestones, increase weight gradually, improve reps, or master new exercises. Long-term vision, envisioning himself as a main event WWE star. Motivated, consistent growth. Listen, break large goals into actionable steps. Focus on progression, not instant results. Gym motivation thrives when you see tangible improvements. 5. Embrace discipline and routine. Consistency was the hallmark of Triple H's life. Early morning workouts, structured strength and conditioning sessions, diet and recovery discipline. Even after joining WWE, despite travel and physical strain, he maintained rigorous training schedules. Lesson: discipline beats motivation. Motivation fluctuates. Habits sustain results. Build a routine, schedule workouts, and treat them as non-negotiable appointments. 6. Overcome setbacks. Triple H faced injuries and intense competition. Like all athletes, he adapted workouts during recovery, focused on nutrition and rehab, mentally prepared to return. Stronger. Lesson: setbacks are part of progress. View injuries or plateaus as temporary challenges, not failures. Resilience is a key gym motivation tool. 7. Mental toughness and visualization. Triple H's nickname, The Game, reflects his mental approach. Gym motivation requires a strong mind. Visualize success. He imagined himself in main events and championship matches. Focus on effort, not just outcome. Use training as mental fortitude. Practice. Lesson: gym motivation isn't just physical. Mindset determines consistency, effort, and recovery. 8. Nutrition and recovery are non-negotiable. Triple H maintained his physique through strict diet protocols. High-protein meals, balanced macros for energy and performance, proper sleep and rest. Dace. Lesson: gym motivation isn't just about workouts. Nutrition and recovery amplify progress and prevent burnout. 9. Training with purpose. Every workout Triple H did had a goal: improve wrestling performance. Even exercises like bench press, squats, and cardio were functional and goal-oriented. Lesson: train with intent. Random exercise without purpose can reduce motivation. Have clear objectives per session: strength, endurance, hypertrophy, or mobility. 10. Surround yourself with supportive companions in WWE. Triple H's alliances, like Degeneration X and Evolution, taught him collaboration and accountability. Similarly, gym companions or training partners motivate during tough sessions, hold you accountable, encourage consistency and progression. Lesson: community fuels motivation. Seek partners or groups who share your fitness goals. 11. Celebrate small wins. Triple H celebrated each achievement: first Intercontinental title, first WWE Championship, as milestones. In the gym, track weights lifted, measure body composition changes. Celebrate sticking to a routine for weeks or months. Listen, recognizing small wins keeps motivation high. 12. Motivation is a lifelong journey. Triple H's career illustrates that gym motivation evolves. Adolescence, build foundation and basic strength. Early adulthood, performance and aesthetics. Professional career, discipline, longevity, and mental toughness. Listen, motivation changes with goals. Adjust training, focus, and goals as your life evolves.